Let's go.
Oh, this looks weird, seeing a bunch of shadow people run against a black wall.
You can finally join story time.
To anyone that does not have a shadow avatar currently, please grab one from behind the curtains.
Shadow acquired.
I'm just gonna take it, I acquired it.
If you have
Yes,
your
I
own,
have
if you have
no
your own
avatar.
avatar, go back there and get one. Go get the dark avatar.
Indeed, otherwise this event will cause everyone to drop frames and it will be pointless.
Mech fruit.
Yeah.
Izadar. Can you go behind the curtain?
I will be
And I'm
your
gonna have
professor
great dreams
today.
today.
Oh, Shadow
Hey,
Snipe
Shadow.
in a different avatar.
Can
The
you
only thing I'll
please go
see
get
today
a shadow avatar
are
from
name
behind the
tags.
curtain?
Boop, boop, boop.
Thank you. It's greatly appreciated.
I'll save everyone's frames.
Whoa.
Becky.
What?
Hey.
Can you get an avatar from behind the curtain, please? Helps everybody.
Oh yeah, I forgot
I'm
about
loving the
that.
stuff.
Unless you don't want to stay.
avatars.
Oh, that's
Everyone needs to have
annoying.
a scuff avatar.
Well, it's just the case that people don't know how to build avatars correctly still.
That's
Mr.
probably
Me,
Which is
gonna
why everyone
change.
seems to lag.
Pretty sure.
could I see the sign, please? I want to see what
Oh,
it
man.
Actually,
says.
oh, there's a little thing up there.
Oh,
Mine shouldn't be that big of a problem.
cease what you're doing. Please take a seat. Please mute your
Oh, I'll be standing at
Is
the
that a
top
single
the whole
draw
time.
call?
That's awesome.
Then you can stay,
the-
as long as it is a single draw call.
Oh my god.
The biggest issue is people that don't know how to separate everything, or rather, join everything,
Hey, Black.
and leave a bunch of different materials. Stretch, shrink, stretch, shrink.
And as long as they
Uh,
make
Yeah,
texture
I get
atlases too.
That's what I mean by a single material.
Very cool, dude. Can you go behind the curtain and get an avatar, please?
Yep.
If you want to stay.
Only thing is, I can't sit in any of the chairs now.
Why?
When I can't see an avatar and I sit down in a chair, it puts me below the chair. I'm actually under the
see.
floor for my camera.
Oh, that's
I'm
very
like
odd,
overlooking.
isn't it?
I'm overlooking
The
my
avatar
avatar.
won't load for me.
Shadowsnipe said I didn't atlas this model yet x.x5 mets on the character
just
itself,
invisible.
plus 1 for the hat,
And
then
so
1
is
for the
most of
sign.
the other people.
3 signs total.
I must
great
admit,
dreams.
looking out on an
Mech Fruit said
audience of
shadow.
shadows is very, very interesting.
My avatar is only 800 polys on 2 materials. Is that good?
I mean, it's more than one material. It just means that you're taking up the draw calls of 2 avatars.
Another invisible person.
It's not an event to show off avatars. It's an event to listen to
Yeah.
Magnanix's beautiful storytelling.
Indeed.
Oh my. You're putting the pressure on me now.
Yeah. Not all avatars.
No
are
pressure is
equal.
on you,
If
Magnanix.
they had an avatar I could see before
So
they
much
swap,
It
pressure.
always is, Nerfy.
Ah,
I'll just have to stay
very
between
well.
Shadow Snipe.
Then,
Magnanix,
friends.
some people in stream would like to
Yes.
join in game.
Oh, they're welcome to. They just need to add any one of us here as friends. Actually, is that how it works? I don't
No,
recall.
It's a
no,
friends
friends
only.
friends
Oh, it's
plus.
friends only
It's a
for
friends
me.
only.
Friends Plus is currently broken.
Yes, that is why I didn't do it.
Yes.
Any more and my frames are probably going to tank really hard.
I mean, it should be okay
So
if
let
you
them
sit at
add
the
you.
front and they all use the correct avatars. Yes, just get them to add
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
I'm dipping to
he's
30.
waiting to be accepted.
Hello, Magna.
Hello? Oh my god. So many friend requests.
You've done it
You
now.
told the stream.
I am not going to add that person or that one.
Oh.
Well, I'm not sure about you people, but someone with the name Jesus Hente Christ probably is a troll.
Probably.
Yeah, I
That sounds like a really good name.
particularly
Just
trust that
maybe.
one.
I wouldn't even trust that one with a 10-foot pole.
Kuri! Welcome,
Hello.
friend!
Hey, Magna.
You're sitting right next to me, huh?
Oh, is that Curry?
Across the chairs.
Now, is
I
it
mean, there's a
curry
bit of
or
a gap.
curry?
Huh?
Do you prefer curry or curry?
Curry.
Curry. My favorite type of food. Delicious, spicy, a glorious taste on the palate.
Just like your butt cheeks, might I add.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know it. All right then, friends. I suppose now is a better time than ever to start. Oh, that's right, I need to do a recap. Well, to think about what I'm going to say.
All right.
Last time, on regarding being reincarnated as a slime, I forgot what story I was reading for a moment there. Rimuru, oh, what did he do? Ah, yes, Rimuru was in the city of the humans and ventured to the Adventurers Guild after being duped by a baron of the Brumand Kingdom. Yes, he was duped into signing an alliance or a treaty that would force his city into a war or any other form of conflict to protect the Brumand Kingdom, essentially becoming a buffer state between the different warring factions. After being a little bit angry at this, he realized that it was his own mistake. Obviously, he wasn't as clever as this silver-tongued viper that he had dealt with. Then he went to a merchant, and on the merchant's money enjoyed himself thoroughly for 2 weeks solid, I believe it was, as he also sold all of his medicine to him and made a future trading agreement. Lots of money coming into the town, essentially. He then went to the Adventurers Guild, planning to move, I believe, forward as... Oh, I just dropped frames then. As adventurers had free passage, well, easier passage than everyone else, into the different kingdoms, as they are their own individual organization, not belonging to any country. As he was being tested, they thought, it's only a small child. A small child can't do anything. Well, they were in for a shock, weren't they, when he tested from rank F all the way to rank B, destroying absolutely every test in his path with but a single slash. Quite simple. Afterwards, he then went to the main headquarters in the Ingracious Kingdom, where he met a fellow world traveler. I don't remember the name. Unfortunate. And that fellow world traveler informed him that he should become a teacher to the class of troubled students, who we found out at the end of the last reading only had a few years to live before they died. Abaddon, could you please grab one of the avatars behind the curtain? Thank you. Meanwhile, on the other front, with the Demon Lord, Milu Nava, she had been tricked by one of the other Demon Lord's subordinates, as they found her weakness, friendship. Given a gift which actually took control of her mind, she was then turned into a mindless slave and sent after one of the other Demon Lords, the Beast Lord, Carrion. Ah, that was a glorious fight, wasn't it? Even though a scene was missing, where she destroyed his entire castle and country. He was alive, though, and picked up by Clayman at the end, the Marionette Master, building his forces ever stronger. And that is the recap of last week. I don't write any of that down, too. It's quite fun coming up with on the spot. All right, then. Let us begin where we left off. Chapter 59, The Church Moved. The Devil Grucius was patrolling around the forest when a sudden incoming telepathic communication confused him. Is something wrong? Several of his teammates from the frontier garrison who were worried about him asked him simultaneously. These good-hearted fellows, not doubting that I'm a devil, unaware about it himself, Grucius sees the illusion of real companions in them. Nothing, I'm fine, I replied thus, and they were relieved. Nothing's wrong whatsoever. That's outrageous. I am now receiving the contents of the telepathic communication. Crucius, it's an emergency. When the time comes, act in accordance to your judgment. We are currently at war. I'll contact you again when we win. Until then, you're free. There's no doubt something's happening. This is the first time they've heard panic in the Demon King Carrion's voice. Just who is his opponent? It was irritating and I can't think of anything. What should I do? He told me to make my own decisions, but I can't think of any measures. After that, I tried to telepathically communicate just in case, but nothing came out of it. Lucius's heart was gradually filled with anxiety, while paying attention in order to prevent his teammates from realizing his unrest. Scene change. The face of Demon Lord Whoa. Takes me a little while to get this worked up, I'm sorry. The face of Demon Lord Clayman was filled with joy after receiving the report. Carrion was the one who tried to persuade Milim, but it somehow ended up as a battle. That's good. Indeed, there are few demon lords that will still be merciful after being annoyed. Oh. Can everyone still hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
My entire screen just went black.
Yes, same here.
Yes. Yeah,
might be someone's avatar. I hope it's not a troll.
The whole room turned black.
Please do not
I think
use the
someone's
black
using
box.
the text shader. Yes.
I can see everything just fine.
Yeah, it's not black for me.
It is on someone's
Yes, it's not
avatar.
anymore.
I didn't go black.
That's good. Indeed, there are few demon lords that will still be merciful after being annoyed. According to the report, Milim triumphed over Carrion with overwhelming combat prowess and even blew away the royal castle, Morotomo. Rapporteur. That's an odd name. What? Rapporteur. Frey said so while elegantly drinking tea. Give me a moment. I think they might have missed another scene here. Why is this so poorly done? No. Okay. So she said that whilst elegantly drinking tea. The other devils apart from Frey were... For fuck's sake, really? Who's doing that?
Shadowsnipe said
Nobody
Mr.
look up.
Mikaki look for a person
Especially
lingering
not
in
you,
their
Shadow,
custom model.
please. Can I get a kick vote started on whoever that is? Thank you. The other devils apart from Frey, who were spies, all reported the same thing. There's no doubt. Demon Lord Clarion is dead. Even a strong demon lord such as Carrion was no match if you have absolute power, the Milim Nava, in your hands. The 10 great demon lords who ruled over Makai. Among them, 3 individuals, including myself, grouped as one. Now, one member has disappeared. Moreover, to have tried to threaten the absolute strongest, the last moments of the Demon Lord Carrion will be good publicity. Everything is going smoothly, just as I planned. Is that so? I'm glad that I was of use. Frey stood up and gave words of agreement without having ulterior motives. I'll be going back, but what about Milim? From the looks of the battle, any devil trying to settle the matter will be ripped to shreds. With a frown on her face, Frey looked at Clayman. It will probably be fine for you to take care of it. After all, you and her are friends, right? I entrust it to you. Please accept it. If my castle is destroyed, I wouldn't be able to bear it. Hearing such words, Frey goes, yada yada, while shaking her head. Even though I don't want my house to be destroyed, well, it's useless no matter... Oh, well, it's useless no matter what I say, right? It's great you understand. You may go. That attitude shows that he doesn't even treat Frey as an equal anymore, but rather a subordinate under his rule. Frey didn't show any signs of discomfort in her expression. She sent a piercing gaze at Clayman and left. A smile appeared on Clayman's face after making sure that Frey left. Everything is going well. Everything is going according to the plan of that person. Unlike a prophecy, things don't always go as predicted, but progress is smoothly being made. In the original plan, the Orc Lord was designated as the new Demon Lord. The reason for backing this plan was in order to... Turn the page. Come on. In order to manipulate the said Demon Lord. Since our interests met, we both decided to work together. Even if the plan fails, there are no losses. But then, a suspicious monster appeared, and it created a monster town. As soon as this was known, the plan was modified to utilize the town, to use our common interest as bait, using the monsters in that town as bait. The bait was... The bait was bit, and luckily the one who bit it was the strongest demon lord. Clayman started his plan, first by intercepting a multi-layered barrier. Then, as usual, he carries out his periodic report. What? Ah, I see. A trustworthy partner. He has sworn his allegiance to the true master. Dun dun dun. Scene change. Ever since Mulan joined the frontier garrison, every day was an extremely busy day. Just because she took up the duty of a shaman doesn't mean she'd be any less busy. Sometimes an individual curious about the dark arts would come along, and she would teach them. If they were simple curses, she could teach them easily. Before she became a devil, she was originally a witch, after all. Teaching curses used by humans is a simple task. What she was busy with was as a staff officer, another one of her positions. In the first place, asking a newcomer to take up the position as the staff officer is not a good idea. To put trust in a devil, these people are overly good-natured. That's probably the impression she had, if she were to put it in words. Giving commands for the platoon to meet up in the monster city and reporting to the captain. She's been handling all of that. To think of her as irresponsible is virtually impossible. Even so, in the midst of all the discomfort, there were also a lot of thoughts. After interacting with people for a while, long-forgotten feelings had started to resurface. Oh dear. And... Mulan, is it fine? Please tell me your response soon, said by a man courting her. She looked back at Yomu. From the start, I felt his gaze when I infiltrated the frontier garrison. I was on alert whether we were discovered, but Grucius said he didn't feel anything. What is happening? When I was thinking about that, Yomu gazed over here. When our eyes met, he looked away in embarrassment. But recently, not only his attitude, but even his words contain hints of courtship. He said, I love you. Please date me. You will definitely be happy. I promise. He threw a straight ball. Even though he usually has a frivolous attitude, he was actually serious. He hasn't made any moves until now. The times when I was just a young girl, which would have been 700 years ago, I can't remember much from back then. I don't have any memories of interacting with other people. To be honest, the experience called love is something that this girl has no experience with whatsoever. There was more joy than anxiety. Moreover, he said he promises happiness. Even though my heart is held in the hands of Clayman, I can't. No, I can't. Besides, how could a human fall in love with me? In the end, she postponed the reply. I refuse. Her reason tells her so. But for some reason, she couldn't muster the courage to say that. She's been a devil for 400 years, but this is the first time she felt such insecurity. In such a state, Mulan was contacted by Clayman. For the devil Mulan, Clayman isn't the target of her loyalty. If it's possible, she wouldn't hesitate to pull off a dirty trick. However, against that sly demon lord, such a chance would probably never appear. The last time she reported, she remembered that Clayman was in a strangely good mood and felt uncomfortable. He probably came up with something devious, she thought. Unfortunately, she has no countermeasures. It's not something she can openly go up against. Even if someone is feeling unhappy, there is no way for them to save themselves. Having unpleasant feelings about this is natural. And suddenly she received contact. You appear to be healthy. Thanks to the information you brought, everything is going smoothly. Good job. Even though I have been keeping your heart for you, I think I might return it soon. A sudden offer. Mulan suddenly felt exhilarated, but panicking wouldn't do. That's not what exhilarated means. Her opponent is a demon lord. To even trick those working under him without shame, he is certainly the wicked marionette master indeed. Wow, thank you very much. That would be the safe answer. There's no need for you to be cautious. What? I just have one last thing I want you to do. Until then, keep enjoying your leisurely life. Now then, see ya. She was spoken to without being able to reply, and the connection was cut. Is this a trap? There is no way to confirm it. Doing what she has done so far, she simply followed orders. However, if I really was released, I wonder, would I have accepted him? With an uneasy feeling in her chest, Mulan resumed and acted as if nothing had happened. Scene change. Sakaguchi Hinata awakened from her light nap in a sleepy state. Diligently serving her, Nicholas had brought her a cup of coffee. Oh, you have awakened Cardinal Nicholas Spertus. He is the man who sits at the pinnacle of the Western religion, the sacred, inviolable, confident Pope of the Holy Kingdom Ruberios. You must roll the R's in Ruberios. Come on, next page, please. I think I'm lagging now. Ah, there we go. To Hinata, that man is as faithful as a tamed puppy. They shared a bed yesterday, and even allowed him to be her companion overnight. Without getting tired, she looked at him, who licked her body clean. Wow. Really, just like a dog. That was what Hinata thought. He worships Hinata as if she was a goddess or a saint. An idiotic man, Hinata thought. Even I would excrete after I eat. After a year, it's natural for me to age. It's not like my body would remain beautiful forever. All this man is looking at is mere fantasy. He desires her body. It's cheap. Even though I don't think this body is worth that much, he can do whatever he wants with it. To her, her body is merely a means of winning somebody other. There are no other values. Of course, that girl also has carnal desires. She's not sexually frigid. Even so, what then? Only a few men I like is allowed to do as they wish to my body. However, men I hate will not be forgiven if they do the same. That means, in the end, I don't dislike Nicholas. Is that it? The reality is that people around her can't understand her. Now, breakfast is ready. What would you like to eat? Sweets were suddenly brought forth. Nicholas preparing and carrying out breakfast for someone else. That is something nobody could possibly imagine, because anybody who knew Nicholas would describe him as an arrogant, egotistical, cold-blooded man with the mask of a saint. Ah, I got it. Thank you. When Hinata calls out... I've got it. Thank you. When Hinata calls out casually, Nicholas nods his head with glee, and the two had breakfast. After a long time, the meal tasted delicious. Oh, yes, I had something to report to you. This is something a spy brought earlier. After finishing their meal and being relaxed, Nicholas talked to Hinata. It can't be helped if he wants to gain her favor. Hinata, while combing her prized black hair left and right with her comb, stared at Nicholas. Picking up her circular glass off the table and putting them on, circular glasses off the table and putting them on. Let's hear it, she asked briefly. Inside there is a beauty amongst beauties, who held was the captain of the Knights Guard division working directly under the Pope. Thank you, book. On her, the usual calm, cold expression. The time to relax has come to an end. Nicholas began sharing his information about the turbulence of the monsters within the Great Jura Forest, and the monsters building their own town. In addition, certain countries had already started trading with the monsters. That was what information was shared. What did you say? The monsters overturned the church's religious belief that monsters are common enemies of mankind? Hinata mutters, to which Nicholas nods. That's right. What will you do? That's right. Hinata is deep in thought. Crushing them is easy. However, it is human nature to leave them alone if there are no problems. At the very least, as long as they are crushed before they make contact with humans, everything will be over. We can only wait. We can only wait and see now. However, investigate the war potential of the town, and ensure this is a force we can crush. As the church, we cannot move unless there is a request from somewhere. Well, if nothing turns up, we can simply force one out. Thus, a conclusion was made. After hearing this remark, Nicholas nodded. Let someone check it out, yes. We'll mobilize the Blood Shadow of the church. The Blood Shadow is a fallen knight with high combat prowess. He was a serial killer who murdered commoners. To God, the church, and the Pope, there are a number of extremists who have sworn allegiance. However, his abilities are top-notch, not someone the church could just simply dispose of. To Hinata, who had a strong sense of disgust, the head is a funny existence. For the rationalist Hinata, God's blind acceptance was a symbol of stupidity. It was ironic, considering Hinata's position as God's guardian of justice. Is that so? Then I'm leaving it to you. It's best if you don't forget about the church's discipline. This isn't the stage to take action. I leave the information gathering to you. Besides, there might be something to gain from this. That's what she decided. As a result, the bloodthirsty mad hound was released. That is the end of that chapter. It kept jumping between first and third person throughout the entirety of that part. Quite difficult. Thank you all for the hearts. My fan isn't blowing into my microphone, is it?
No.
No, you're fine.
Excellent. Good. I hope that my slight sniffling doesn't bother anyone, but I do have a blocked nose, so always cool.
You sound fine.
Chapter 60. It's sudden, but let's test it now. The inside of the classroom was silent. So silent, in fact, that you can hear the students swallowing their saliva. Ranger ran up to me while waving his tail. All right, kids, have you been working hard? Though I faced them with a bright smile, they did not return it. Of course, if I consider things from their perspective, it makes more sense. They just might think of me as just some bastard to kill. However, this world follows the survival of the fittest principle. There's only one thing you can hate, your own weakness. Okay, kids, you seem to have things to say, so let's have a test, I so declared. Well, how did it turn into that? A test? Ugh! They responded with loud criticism. Yep, tests are hated in just about every world. Hey, don't worry, it's not like I don't get what you're saying. But listen, what will happen from now on is absolutely necessary for you. Sorry. Why? We'll just kick the bucket sooner or later. There's no point in studying, is there? Right. All the teachers until now have been bringing us toys or picture books and telling us to have fun. We haven't studied from the moment we came here. I want to read more picture books. Silence. All they do is complain. However, they lack yesterday's vigor. Did they tire themselves out picking on Ranger? Well, I guess the fact that they even responded to my words is admirable enough. But this is necessary to them. Unfortunately, I cannot compromise on this. All right, I understand your point, but the test game that we'll play from now on will help you. Kids, you brats, get to vent some anger. It should be fun. In a second, you will have a mock battle with me. The rules are simple. You can go all out and use anything you want. Should you bring me down, you win. If I'm still on the run after 20 minutes, though, I win. Simple, right? Just that? Yeah, well, what? Yeah, we'll have the test inside this room. I'll erect a barrier so no one can get out. Those observing also cannot help. Do you understand the rules? If you do, then decide who goes first. A simple mock battle. I'm not planning on attacking at all. I just want to verify their abilities. If they're incapable of acquiring a unique skill, I wouldn't know.
This again.
Really? Who is doing that? Does anybody know?
No idea. Could be Fraser, I don't know.
It wouldn't be Pfizer.
I saw who it is.
I don't know, I'm just
Who
looking
was
who's
it?
talking.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Which idiot done that?
And thus begins the witch hunt.
All right, I'll continue reading.
Alright then.
Every time the screen goes black, I lose sight of what I'm reading. There.
Oh,
If they're
this is
incapable
annoying.
of acquiring a unique skill, I wouldn't know of another method to consume the terrible power in their bodies. According to my analysis, their magical energy, as compared to monsters, would have them A-ranked at least, though adventurers rely on fighting strength to decide their ranks. Monsters tend to judge by power alone. Would you please mute your microphone, Curry? Sorry. I was at first surprised to see B-rank adventurers whose magical energy is hardly C-ranked. I only learned of this after having become an adventurer myself. Normal monsters do not concern themselves with skill proficiency, so they were usually evaluated based only on raw abilities. Of course, is that who it was?
He has the staff avatar and I don't recognise him.
Hmm? Oh, really? Someone's already stolen that. Excellent. Of course, there are plenty of monsters that do hone their skills, so generally speaking, these kids are A-ranked. If they can properly use their abilities, they should be formidable opponents. They finally decided the order. With an eager face, Misaki Kenya is coming at me. He's just an 8-year-old troublemaker. Is he the leader of these brats? Hey, I can use the sword, right? Impudent little. Go ahead. And Brat, when you lose, I'll have you address me politely from now on. I won't lose to a lousy adult. I've only lost against Shizu-san. I didn't realize that it was in its adult form. I'll change the voice. I thought Rimuru was in his child form. How about you leave the self-praise for after you win? Thus we were ready for the match. I'll have the children keep time. I acquired a sand watch the other day and showed the kids how to use it. Now then, shall we start? Begin! Oh, begin! Kenya moved on Alice's command. He moves well for an elementary school student. Actually, he's defeated adults before. Not that it'll have any effect on me. Go for it, Ken-chan! Don't lose! Hearing their encouragement, Kenya redoubled his efforts. He desperately tried to land a hit on me, but I avoided them with room to spare, without a need to predict. After 10 minutes, with tears in his eyes, he started shooting fire at me. What a pathetic flame that was. It would be hard to compare it to the flame I use, so I'll just say that the flame was really weak. An A-ranked monster, using all his strength to create a fireball, can easily surpass a temperature of 1,000 degrees. But this is even weaker than Ellen's fireball attack. Inferior to magic used by a B-rank adventurer. He definitely learned it by watching, so this would be poor representation of his real abilities, right? Hey, you're focusing too much on the flame. Try shooting out a ball of pure energy. Shut up! Shizu-san used this skill and it was powerful. I would listen to what the likes of you have to say. What an arrogant brat. In the end, he ignored my advice, and when the 20th minute passed, I was declared the victor. All right, that's enough. Address me properly as Sensei from now on. Who's next? Come at me. Dropping his shoulders and visibly depressed, Kenya rejoined the kids. Well, I'd be in for a shock if I had lost to a brat who hadn't even learned to turn the page, who hadn't even turned 10. Next one up was Chloe Obel, an 8-year-old girl with a rare hair color. It was black with silver mixed in. Ever seen anything like that? I haven't. Anyways, she was a beautiful girl with an interesting hair color. I wonder if she's part Japanese. She has the East-Western vibe. So, shall we begin? If looked from afar, people would see a middle school kid pulling a little girl. Even so, this test is crucial. I'm acting all cool and all, but if I really lose, what a bad joke that would be. Kurochi, don't hurt yourself, Kuro-chan. I see. Chloe is Kuro. Most of the kids said don't hurt yourself rather than do your best. I guess that's just how it is. The signal was already given and the match had begun. Though there was a 5-minute intermission, I chose not to take a break. Even so, I was not tired in the slightest. All I've been doing is dodging, so it was an easy win. Now, Chloe, what kind of attack will she show me? I wonder if she just likes books, but she's got one on her right now. I see. Is that it? Is she planning on hitting my head with it or throwing it at me? Will she suddenly say, this is not a book, it's a blunt weapon? Nah, probably not. While I was thinking this foolishness, in an eternal flowing stream, find my foe, water prison! Oh, suddenly water appeared at my feet. According to heat perception, it was real water. Magic. What an amazing child. Let me guess, a genius? While I was feeling impressed, the water continued to rage and envelop me in a bubble. When I tried poking it, it stretched out a bit. I wonder if she is fixating it on I wonder if she is fixated on accelerating this skill, making it something akin to my water blade. Wonderful. But what will she do now? This magic's next step is to fill the bubble with water. If you accept defeat, I'll let you go. If you don't, you will die. So young, but so dreadful. Kenya was so much cuter in comparison. But a skill of this level, yeah. Yep, that's some amazing magic, but it won't have any effect on me. But this magic is superior. Make sure to continue practicing it later, I said while stroking her head. Prison, what kind of a thing is pointless in the face of cloning? Frankly, that skill is the strongest among extra skills. It's so amazing that it's nearly a unique skill. Besides, to me, who has various resistances against temperature attacks, her attack is pointless, and I've had that resistance since I was born. Chloe sat down in shock, her face red, with tears falling from her eyes. Forgive me, I'm not pulling any punches here. To you brats who look down on me, I have to show an overwhelming difference in strength. Chloe lost her will to fight, so I won. Chloe was touching the spot on her head that I stroked earlier while smiling for some reason. Let's continue. The next opponent was Gail Gibson, the oldest among them, 9 years old, brown hair and a large build with well-defined features. definitely a pretty boy. When he grows up, his looks won't lose even against famous actors. Let's crush him. Of course, I had no such thoughts. I am an adult, so I'll be fair and be a fair opponent. Gale, without a trick or tactic in mind, fired a single shot at me. After watching the other two's attempts, he's probably reevaluated me a bit. He fired a round that would certainly kill any other teacher. Without a question, he put every ounce of his power into that shot. That was a good decision. But, unfortunately, to the wrong opponent. That kind of attack could never reach me, as when it did, gluttony absorbed it. What was that? That's cheating! Yes, it is. I completely agree. Listen up. Adults are cheaters. We'll win no matter what trick we have to use. That's the kind of beings adults are. Thought that might have been a little immature of me to use against a child. It's not the time to be picking methods. Ah, it's going to be though. Though that might have been a little immature of me to use against a child, it's not the time to be picking methods. I mean, I could have just repelled it, but I felt that there was a chance it would create a hole in the barrier. And though I was given free rein over them, I shouldn't go around destroying the classroom. So I chose the method that would prevent any possible casualties. In the end, even this was troublesome. Gale, embittered by this, gathered energy into his fists and attacked me. What a child. At this point, he has no chance of victory. He ended up just as Kenya did, and so it was my victory once more. Sekiguchi Ryota is a timid child, always friendly with Kenya, supporting him from behind. Claimed to be the strong Kenya's partner, there's no special meaning attached to that. They are just being kids. But as for his power, Ryota, avenge me! The moment he heard these words, his eye color changed. This ability is similar to Shion's battle maniac. His speed and power more than doubled, and his magic energy and fighting spirit enveloped his entire body. What a wonderful example of battle transformation. The only minus would be the fact that he is unconscious. And it's a great demerit at that, to lose one's composure in the midst of battle. Its effectiveness depends on the opponent. I mean, maybe Battle Maniac is a common skill, but against high-level opponents, it's not even a gamble. You are certain to lose. Now, please turn the page. His movements are good, so maybe if his opponent wasn't me, he could put up a fight. But too bad. I easily evaded him for 20 minutes. The last one was the girl Alice Rondeau, the youngest at 7 years old, her hair blonde and straight, reaching to her shoulders, with a face that could be described to belong to a doll. She is certainly a beauty. Unlike the adult-like Chloe, she is, apparently, a tomboy. Now, what kind of ability will she show me? Alice threw the doll she held in her hands in the air, and, "Go, Bear-san!" she called out. Huh? While I was thinking that, a bear suddenly started attacking me, and its attacks were pretty strong. Her power is called Golem Master. If this is the power she can draw out from some stuffed animal, what kind of beast will she call forth from a specialized weapon doll? Ha ha! Her power just might be strongest amongst the 5. Well, I was able to keep running the whole time, so no problems there. I hadn't expected the strongest power to be saved for last, so I'm glad I was able to save face. When she summoned 10 of them, I almost snapped and burned the whole place to the ground. But I held it in and focused on running away. I thought that if I burned them, I'd have to console her afterwards. Anyways, thus the 5 have come to know my power. The abilities they possess are as described. There's a great mismatch between what you'd expect from them and what actually is there. Why have their skills developed in such weird ways, you might ask? Probably these are the skills that they have desired from the bottom of their hearts, so my only choices are either to have them acquire a unique skill or search for some other method. Within the next 3 months, their powers will go wild, causing their bodies to collapse. A drastic measure, but I was able to confirm their status, and I found that using all of one's power is the best method to stall the collapse. Each time they release the excessive energy, Each time they release the excess energy, they extend the deadline by a little bit. Now, as for the actual treatment, as this test has shown you, I'm strong, and this strong I will promise you, I will save you. I swear on this mask, I will find a solution. So I declared to the children. They all diligently listened to my words. First, I was successful at getting their attention. After all, if you don't put your mind to it, you aren't actually listening. Somehow, perhaps they just feel obligated. I got them to listen. Is that mask Shizu-sensei's? Suddenly, Alice timidly asked me. It is. Shizu-san entrusted it to me. And, other than entrusting me the mask, she entrusted you bunch to me as well. So I answered. Though the mask's appearance has changed slightly, she was able to notice. She nodded with satisfaction at my response. Seems like some of her worries have been dispelled. However, now that she's mentioned the mask, some memory appeared in my mind. What Shizu-san had left me. It was to hit Demon Lord Leon. But could Shizu-san have planned to defeat a Demon Lord? Wait a second. Shizu-san came over here when she was 10, right? So why did he save her? Let's think about it. Though I don't know the details, I feel like there's a hint buried in these memories. Besides, it seems strange that Shizu-san would just abandon the page. Come on. You can do it. Abandon the kids to pursue her own goals. Perhaps punching Leon and saving the kids was one and the same task. In that case, Demon Lord Leon must know of a way to save these children. He had saved her before, after all. In that case, what is the method? Along with Great Sage, we're busy considering these things, and, as always, Great Sage did not fail my expectations. Had Demon Lord Leon saved Shizu-chan, intentionally or by accident? The answer? Solution. The chance that Demon Lord Leon saved Izawa Shizue intentionally is about 74%. However, this percentage is mere prediction, and is thus meaningless. Also, regarding the way to save the children, I was not mistaken. Listen up. I will absolutely save you. We'll prepare for this starting tomorrow. Believe in me. I will not let you, whom Shizu-san entrusted to me, die. Unlike my previous words, this time I was confident. The children likewise responded seriously. Please, Sensei! All of them shouted. Sensei, what a pleasant word. Leave it to me. Now, for the first time, I approved of the children. I will save them. So I swore to myself. And that is the end of that chapter. More water.
I was just wondering if we could get some of these people to change to the shadow avatar, because my sound was like bugging out hard just before.
Oh dear. Everyone who is currently not in a shadow avatar, could you please step behind the curtain and grab one?
Would be greatly appreciated, thanks.
And for more people to disappear
Remember that
from
person with big animations.
Wait, I'm stuck.
Back.
Oh, there we go.
What was that, sorry?
Them later.
Oh, shit. Oops.
Also, if you clear out the
Magnanix
VRChat
don't
cache,
accept any more
it
friends.
helps a lot with,
No more
with
friends?
the lag and
Okay.
stuff.
I won't accept any more.
Wait, I want to use the
Do you
bathroom.
feel that one of them...
I was just getting a few friends to add you so they could come in. I need to
I'm a
use the
little
bathroom real
worried.
quick.
Why?
Can you hold it out for a second? I need to use the bathroom.
Sure.
I really got to shit really badly. One second.
Charming.
I did not need to know that.
I'm sorry. I'm pretty open-minded what I am currently doing. So hold on. I'll be back. Hold on. Please pause
I
here.
appreciate it.
Curly.
Anytime, guys. Everything up for you guys. All right, I'll be back.
What do you all think so far of Rimuru the teacher? Rimuru Sensei?
Awesome.
I think she's great.
Can you
But
change?
these are human kids he's teaching, right?
he... Oh, wait, it.
Correct.
So
They
this would
are
be the
human.
first time
They've been...
he's- So this would be the first time he's interacted a lot with, like, humans, rather than monsters.
Indeed. Yes, Panzer? Who are you pointing at?
Hentai games. Don't see him? You might want to get rid of him.
Above the bed.
Oh? Why is that?
Lewd.
Well, it's kind of been streamed on YouTube, that's all.
I can't see
It's
it.
kind
Is
of,
there an avatar there?
Yeah,
think-
Hentai
there's
Games
like a
has got
fully
like
made
the lewdest of the
avatar.
lewd.
Would you
Oh, I
mind
can't see
changing
it
to a
either.
shadow avatar, Hentai?
Yeah, no, it's not acceptable.
Wait, what am I?
Could you change it?
Or make like a
I'm an
tree.
invisible avatar for
And-
me.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
invisible
so
to me
You
as
are
well.
currently naked. Could you change it, please? It's not acceptable.
I think you might
in
have
the
the
VRChat.
ID. I think you might have an ID override there. Yeah.
You can
I'm
get
just
that.
gonna get respawn then.
I can't see
I
the
will
shadow
say he is
either.
invisible for me too. I don't even see
Yes.
him.
I see
I think
loot.
you might have a blueprint ID issue. I'm surprised those are still happening.
Alright, I'm back. Oh, that feels so nice. I really had a fucking hold it.
Okay,
Oh.
okay.
Oh, that was so pain. You have no fucking idea how long I had to hold it. Oh.
Enough information.
Okay. Alright.
Quiet.
Let's get back.
Alright,
Everybody, please quiet down as we return back to the story. Chapter 61, The First Dungeon Conquest. I don't know why I said it like that. Well,
I like it.
We're now going to a place called the Dwelling of the Spirit that's located in the Ulg Nature Park in Ulgracia Republic. It's already been 1.5 months since I became their teacher. Of course, I had a purpose for coming here, but it's really hard to take these children outside for traveling. We've been studying in this classroom all this time. With the reason that they didn't know how far the church's influences went, the academy did not give me permission to go outside. Certainly, there is a church next to it. It can be said that this is the main reason. However, children should go outside and play around, not spend their time locked up in an academy. Hearing about this from the children, Shizu-san tried to bring them outside, but it was rejected. Somehow, it seems they're trying too much in trying to confine the children. Am I underestimating the church way too much? Anyway, I'm doing what I believe is the right thing to do, and thus I'm taking the children outside. First of all, I made the children memorize transfer magic. Normally, it's impossible, even in 1 year, to understand it. It's necessary to understand both of the structure of the magic formations and to have the knowledge of the meaning on the system's crest. This magic is far more advanced than space-based magic. It really is cruel to make children that haven't even hit 10 years old learn it. But they might not be able to do it even if they took 3 years. Perhaps there is no need to have them memorize the theory and such. Although it's unfair, on such occasions it's time for the skill to shine. With my shapeshifter abilities, I can embed my knowledge and fuse it into the children. That's a new way to use that ability, I guess. And fuse it into the children. Actually, I think it's kind of unfair, but there's no need to be picky about it. Come on. There's no need to be picky about one's appearances anymore. Next, I summon Ranga's subordinate. With their transforming ability, I make them take the form of the children. I also made myself a clone, and then the preparations were complete. Even if I had thought that there might be problems to those who opposed them going outside, I still chose to do this. I had discussed it with Yuki for several times, but he thinks it's too dangerous and our opinions clashed. It would be great if I had succeeded in persuading him, but sadly, it's all in vain. I can persuade him slowly if there's time, but putting me aside, the children don't have much time left. Great Sage had predicted that the earliest the children had time, that the earliest the children had a time limit of 3 months. There is no time for a leisurely discussion. I'm forcing myself to learn transfer magic to bring the children outside. Why learn transfer magic? The reason is simple. There is no need to search for the lodgings while we travel, so the church won't be alerted by it. Moreover, until we reach our destination, there is no need to enter Ulgacia's Republic personally, and we can go straight to the Ulg Nature Park. Me and Ranga will take the children, and then we will travel rapidly. Before school's lunchtime arrives, using the installed magic formation for transfer magic, we will have already returned to the classroom. After eating the lunch, we'll then use the transfer magic and resume our travels from where we left. The purpose for making the children use magic is to have them use their magic power. If a grand magic is used, we can postpone their breakdown for a little while longer. The children agreed without complaining. How should I say it? Their first trip caused them great excitement. They are scared at first, but after they were accustomed to the high-speed movement of me and Ranga, they enjoyed it with a great smile. At the beginning, there was someone who had peed at my back. Who would think such a thing can happen? Jeez. To protect their honor, they deliberately didn't say a single word. While various small things happened, we finally arrived at the dwelling of the spirit at last. Ulgracia's republic is very different from the nations surrounding Jura Forest. It's not under the influence of the Western Saints Church. Also, this small nation is not a member of the council. they receive the divine protection of the Spirit of Wisdom. This is the nation who conducts trade with sorcery dynasty of Sarion. While there is no restrictions for going in and out of the nation, there are relatively few criminals in that nation. The reason is straightforward. This nation's people are all spirit-based magic users. Spirit-based magic, more or less, can be divided into two main categories. The first is spirit magic. This category has a lot of offensive spells that are similar to elemental magic. It's borrowing the power of the spirit when using it. It requires magic power as compensation. There's no need to chant in spirit magic spells. Everyone can use it if they are connected with the spirits that they have contracted with. However, to be recognized by the spirits, it was necessary to be liked by them. In this nation, there are many people that are liked by the spirits that exist inside the nation. Therefore, they are holding the contract ceremony when someone reaches the age of 10 years old. If there is a person who is unable to make a contract with the spirits, that person will be driven out from the nation when reaching 20 years old, losing their qualification as a citizen. However, because there are many kinds of spirits, a person that is unable to contract with spirits are quite rare. God damn. I think they just decided to start using machine translation towards the end of this volume. The second is spirit summoning. In this category, it was necessary to be contracted with a powerful spirit. However, to do the summoning, a chant is required, though it's easier than the other type of magic. That is, to that extent, there are no need to compare the power. Spirit magic only borrowed a portion of the spirit's power, while with spirit summoning, it's possible to use the power of the spirit itself. Besides its power, it surpassed it in all other areas. Thus, the power of borrowing is no match for the real thing. It's very difficult for a user of spirit magic to win against an opponent who uses spirit summoning. Even if the opponent has had bad affinity against the outside, he would be able to turn over the disadvantage with his spirit. Sorcery dynasty of Sarion, a nation where the representative chanting magic, elemental-based magic, is the mainstream magic. God damn it, this is a long sentence. Contrary to the Ulgracia Republic, where the contract magic, that is, spirit-based magic, is the mainstream magic. So essentially, the sorcery nation uses elemental magic, and the Ulgracia Republic uses spirit magic. I said that in one word. For these reasons, because there are a lot of exchange between them, and there is a background that works together in competition, they develop each other's magics. And so we come to this place with an objective. That is, of course, spirit summoning. I had raised a hypothesis, and that is regarding the situation of the flame giant, or Ifrit, that Shizu-san was fused with. Having its magic power rampage would somehow prevent causing the body to decay. Is it high-rank spirit magic to control Ifrit? Or is it because of the unique skill, shapeshifter, that the fusion was able to be done? In any case, the key is to use with a spirit. A sentient spirit are few in number, and it's called a high-rank spirit. In this city, there are two places to contract a spirit. First is in a place where the citizens conduct their contract that is on an altar in the middle of the city. But this place has a rare chance of a high-rank spirit to be summoned. For the user of high-rank spirit magic to conduct spirit summoning contracts, it is necessary to go to the other place. That is, the dwelling of the spirit. I've given up trying to convert this in my head. I'm just going to read it verbatim. It's a labyrinth that's stretched out in the underground or maybe in the air. The only door to enter is located in the old nature park. The door is embedded on a big rock, and beyond that door is a different dimension. But our purpose is to contract a high-rank spirit, so there is no other choice for us than keep going. We take preparation to the rest for one night. From beyond this door, it is doubtful if we can use transfer magic to return, although I had a hunch it would be impossible. Anyway, the magic formation in the park was installed in such a way to not draw any attention. At the worst, if the inside is suspicious, it is still possible to use it to escape, although I doubt whether it would be useful or not. Just for an insurance, though, and then... Are the preparations finished? We might not return once we enter. Are you guys ready? In response to my question, of course. All right. All right then. And so on. Several answers came. There. There is no need to be afraid. Lately they've begun to put their trust into me. The feelings they harbor towards me is different compared from before. Transforming into a black wolf, I instant kill any monster that gets in our way. That might be what gained their trust. Then let's resume the travel. Regarding that place, I obtained some information about it when I was searching for information in the library. Unfortunately, although it accurately tells the location, it's not written what kind of monsters that are going to appear on the inside. It's only said that there would be a trial. A trial. I don't know what kind of danger we'll face. Can me and Ranga protect the children? There is a slight feeling of unease. If it's not good, I might temporarily withdraw and call Benimaru. Ugh. Starting to lose my ability to speak here. Come on. Turn the page. Why isn't it turning? There we go. I might call Benimaru and others. Anyway, we went inside and proceeded carefully. The inside, even though the sunlight did not... The inside, even though the sunlight did not able to reach inside, it is full with bright lights. Just in case I turn off magic perception, it seems the vision is all right. There's also no problem with the atmosphere. The children can enter without any problem. With all members inside, we proceeded with caution. I assigned Ranga as the bodyguard of the children. Rather than a labyrinth, it's a straight path. We advanced carefully. ... Scene change. Or rather, time change. I'm thankful for the mind mapping. I can go on straight paths. There are many traps installed here that can disturb someone's sense of direction. Looking behind, the road that was illuminated by the lamp-like mechanism is now hidden by the shadow. Looking at front, the path once hidden by light now became visible. I see, it really is a labyrinth. Using normal person's sense of direction, perhaps it's possible to become lost. This has somehow become quite frightening. Oh well, my, well, oh my. Found it out, out I found it. Oh ah, chatter, chuckle, giggle. All of a sudden I hear the spirit's voice in my mind. A really strong mind voice. No, maybe this is mind communication, or telepathy. Oh, foolish visitors, become more in dread, become more in fear. What are selfish words? The children are restlessly looking at their surroundings. Chloe and Alice didn't release their hand from my clothes. God damn it. However, even the timid Ryota drew his sword as if to protect the girls. The three boys had been given swords a while ago. It was something that I copied, a sword made from pure demon steel, with it transformed into the shape that is suitable for them. It's fortunate that there are circumstances to warrant their need before. What? However, good, more in fear. If not, it's boring. Fumu. We arrived at a certain room. To make noise as they please, however, is annoying. Hey, are you the one living in this place? Well then, are you the spirits, perchance? We have a purpose for coming here. We had business with the high-rank spirits. So if it's possible, can we ask guidance from you? Just in case I asked. Now what kind of reaction will they show? This is interesting, more interesting than surprise, more interesting than fear. Nice. I tell you, however, in front. A light extended at the end of the passage. It's just like an invitation. Well, there is nothing other than to accept. When we advance at the passage, there is a great hall, and the middle of it... Fucking hell. And the middle of it, there was a giant. Now let's begin the trial. The giant's eyes shone red. Suddenly I start wondering why the eyes of a suspicious monster always shine red. Well, whatever. Hey, can you hear me? If I defeat the giant, will the trial end? That's right. Well, just like that. Then it's easy. I let Ranga protect the children. Only I'm alone and went ahead. Oh my! Doing it alone? Confidence is dangerous, you know. Are you guys worrying about me? Well, it'll be okay. I analyzed the giant in front of me. Name, Spirits Protector Colossus, temporary. Material, magic steel. Ability, over rank A. Magic power, over rank A. Phew, I almost blown away. I'm naming it without any permission. Its abilities are dangerous. A magic doll golem, made from magic steel, with a height of 3 meters. It had a massive figure. Perhaps its weight is about 30 metric tons. To put it simply, if someone receives its physical attacks, they will receive tremendous damage. Even if there is physical attack resistance, it had no meaning if you get completely crushed. While still observing it and seeing what it will do, the giant silhouette blurred. Well, I still see it, but its movement is as fast as Master Swordsman. This is very dangerous enemy. Its speed and its weight, if it hits, it definitely will cause a more disastrous damage than a traffic accident. Geez, is this really a trial? Are they trying to kill me? No doubt it. Hey, what is this thing? You guys, are you not testing me? You're trying to kill me instead. So I shouted, chatter, chuckle, giggle. Well, that is so, that's right. Can you win? Can you win? Really? What do these guys actually want? This is... are those guys retards? I'm really mad inside, but it's gone when I see how childish they are. No good, no good. In front of the children, I must act like a gentleman. It's no good if I lose my reason and succumb to rage. That's my teaching position. Well, the cool me has never been recklessly angry. This is something I'm aware of. I steady my breathing and take a stance with some leeway. Heck, even without getting serious, it's all right if I don't get hit. It's quite fast, but I'm faster than that thing. I'm a guy who can disappear as fast as the speed of sound. Well, maybe. Maybe Black Lightning won't be effective against it, because it's made of metal. The electric current might travel to the ground and neutralize it. With the magic I learned, there was none that worked. Waterblade and Fireball was useless. Also, slicing it with a sword is out of the question. Even if it is possible to cut it, the sword might break, and it's troublesome, so I don't want to do it. A lump of magic steel. I wish you can pardon me from doing such a thing. The magic puppet Golem has the highest hardness, yet is agile. It means it had very few weaknesses. So troublesome. Then shall I burn it to ashes? Hey, I allow you guys to apologize, but you guys are not apologizing, so it's fine if I destroy it, right? Interesting. This is so amusing. Bluffing, bluffing. Nice, nice. It sounds good. If you can do it, then show it. I am an adult, so it's all right. I won't get angry by such impudent telepathy. But I will get angry by the page. I don't have any vein, so the vein that appears in my head is just part of my imaginations. As in the anger vein, like in anime. Well, I've got the permission now. Goodbye, magic puppet Golem. If possible, I want to bring you back as my toy. Miss... Binding formation of bewitching strings! My sticky steel thread's power was different from before. I already strengthened it. I'm infusing it with magical energy, so now it's possible for it to endure weight over 1,000 ton. The thread binds the magic puppet Golem completely. Now its movement was completely stopped. Then I'm concentrating, and I shoot Black Flame Prison, or Hell Flare, towards it. If you normally shoot it, there was no need to really concentrate. However, to make the range specifically small, it was necessary to concentrate to control the enormous amount of magical power. With support of Great Sage, it's now possible to reduce the size of the Black Flame Prison. It's still not possible for Benimaru to use it like this. The attack completely envelops the magical puppet. The attack completely enveloped the magic puppet in its sphere shape, with a diameter of 5 meters. So loud, a thunderous sound sounded. The dome disappears while leaving nothing remaining of its traces. Perhaps inside the dome, the flame prison burns everything to nothingness with its high temperatures that reach several 100 million degrees. Even with my heat attack resistance, it's not possible for me to be unaffected by that. A person that can endure such attacks might not exist. The downside of this attack was, if the opponent's not restricted, it's easy thing to avoid the attack, because it takes some time to cast it. Oh well, it's nice because it succeeded well this time. If possible, I don't really want to show this trump card. No way! No, unbelievable! Only one hit, is what I heard from the chaotic telepathy. Apparently, they have put all their confidence on the magic puppet. Of course they had. The children's mouths were wide open. They are dumbfounded. It seems the shock is really great. Therefore, I don't want to show it. Anyway, their attitude to underestimate me is gone. I hope they prepare themselves. It's now time for their punishment. Well, that was an exercise in poor grammar and horrible writing, wasn't it?
This VR headset is too heavy for my head.
I mean, you can just leave your headphones in and put it down.
Oh yeah, you're right.
All right, then. Let us continue the story. Now I'm lagging. Oh, there we go. Excellent. Move this into view. After Chapter 62. A spirit is. After vaporizing the golem, I flashed an evil smile. Now we can continue the conversation on our terms. Now then, if you don't want to be scorched to death, how about you come on out? I know exactly where you're all hiding, you know. I know the general direction, but not the exact location. I'd much rather they come out of their own volition. In response to my words, in great panic, yes, 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 yes. As you have commanded, though greatly embarrassed, we appear before you. And, with dragonfly wings growing from their backs, tiny and cute girls came flying out. Oh God, that was the wrong voice. They were no longer than 30 centimeters in height. Not midgets, but the kind of fairy you'd hear about in a fairy tale. At the front of the group lined up girls dressed in dazzling dresses with many frills. Behind them, another group was dressed in rather plain dresses. Overall, they dressed in darker colors. Ta-da! I'm one of the 10 great... She bit her tongue. Should I make fun of her? It seems she's gotten so used to telepathy that she's forgotten how to talk. Are you okay? She held up her hand in response. I'm one of the 10 great demon lords. Ramirez of the Labyrinth, cease thou haughty actions, show humility, she happily said, while proudly showing off her non-existent chest. Why do I feel so pissed off? First, let's chop her. Ah, what was that for? You'll give me a heart attack, she complained after dodging with her small body. Horrible. Right. Should we kill it? Kill it? But. It killed the golem, right? Impossible. We'll be killed. How noisy. My head was filled with their chatter. Besides, you're cheating. We aren't affected by thought manipulation. It's been too long since we last met someone like you. Why aren't you? Sorry. Isn't she furious? I see. So the strange anger I feel towards them is due to me resisting their thought manipulation magic, right? However, there's no way anyone among these fairies, little brats, is a demon lord. Are they still messing with me? Hey, next time you lie, come up with more believable lies. There's no way anyone among you brats is a demon lord. Don't call us brats! Seriously, how rude! What else am I if not a demon lord? Huh? Well, an idiot. Anyways, speaking of demon lords, you know how stupid your claim sounds in comparison to my friend Millum? Compared to her, you guys are pathetic. Stupid! Baka! You are so baka! I'm sorry. The spirit named Ramirez loudly shouted, and then stopped to catch her breath. And, listen here, when you say Millum, surely you refer to that unreasonable demon lord Millum, the one that solves everything through brute force? To compare that unreasonable brute to the beautiful I, aren't you just being rude? Hey, I'll be troubled if you can't understand that much. Her words full of indignation. And, besides, aren't you a strange one yourself? What was that? Did you have to suddenly use that dangerous skill? How many special skills must you possess to use that health flare? Please don't be so unreasonable. I'm losing the voice. Whatever. I'm not even surprised that you're that Millum's acquaintance. I believe you. So believe me as well. Somehow she might not be lying after all. Well, you know, they look pretty harmless up close. And they actually listen when you sit down to talk to them. For some reason, I was preparing the snacks. If I am the guest, why are our roles reversed? Not that I care. The kids have gotten friendly with the fairies and are happily munching on some snacks together, with a satisfied smile. In the first place, the golem that freaked us out was meant to be shown after we have had our fun. In fact, they didn't intend to kill us or hurt us, which is why... and we had just finished making it from all those parts, she complained begrudgingly. Nothing can be done about it now. If I don't kill it, it'd kill me, or so I thought back then. Do you know just how efficient it was? Earth spirits manipulated... Oh, I think this is her still. Do you know how efficient it was? Earth spirits manipulated the weight. Water spirits moved each individual joint. Fire spirits provided its power. Wind spirits regulated the temperature. Combination of many chemical elements. It was the epitome of what genius of the ghost researchers. She's surprisingly persistent. If I knew it was going to end up like this, I would have eaten it and made a copy, though I don't know if I could have done so. But genius of the ghost researchers, does that have anything to do with this Kaijin story? The one about the magic soldiers plan the dwarves had undertaken with the elves? Hey, are you talking about the magic soldiers that the dwarves and the elves have been researching together? Bingo, bingo! How did you know? It went wild after they failed to use the heart, the spirit magic circuits. Fucking hell. So we picked up the shell that they threw out. Does that make us geniuses? Are we that amazing? Annoying, but yes, amazing. But we are talking about ghost researchers who employ the power of ghosts, and fairies who are probably in existence close to that of ghosts. In other words, I can accept their proficiency in regards to this question. Anyway, to summarize Ramirez's story, Ramirez's story, people tried to manipulate the power of ghosts to create a golem, filling its body with magical energy as if blood, and pumping it with oil to make it move, and to control its weight with magic, but it proved nonsensical. I mean, its magic supply would be cut off if it just jumped 5 meters away. However, were it made usable, it would become a terrifying weapon. Though Ramirez is an idiot, I guess she is amazing. All right. I understand your awesomeness. Now, I have a request to this awesome you, I declared. Then I explained the children's circumstances, without hiding anything. Truth and only the truth. The children listened intently. I see. I remembered. There was a guy who came here to try some things out. Leon. It was Leon-chan. He had not become a demon lord back then. Well, I could have taken him out with a single punch. No question. Seriously. That's a lie. It's not a case where she is averting her eyes. They're just spinning out of control. I listened to her story. One day, a young Leon showed up here. Ramirez's thought manipulation also had no effect on him. In fact, she was controlled by him instead. For Ramirez, who was only proficient in illusion magic of the spirit... God damn it. Come on. It's almost like when I lag in game, I can't change pages. Of the spirit magic archive, there was nothing else she could do. Besides, just as it happened with you, once illusion magic failed, it was game over. I had not more cards to play, you know. This adorable Ramirez had no other plan, so I planned to have the golem become my arms and legs, and silence the demon lords who constantly ridiculed... She's complaining again, not completely disheartened, but certainly holding a grudge. Well, she then went out and lost to the not-yet-known demon lord Leon, and had to help him out. It seems he was researching things, knowledge on how to summon ghosts. Without a single clue, he had managed to summon a high-level fire spirit out of pure anger, and then sent him away. The fairies were dumbfounded when he told them. And then he had this absurd request to summon world travelers, special individuals from other worlds. Stop asking for the impossible. Are you an idiot? He looked about to cry when I said that. No, really, he started crying. Yeah, I'm not exaggerating in the slightest. Pathetic. A crybaby, but so cheeky. Idiot. Why is she getting excited all on her own? Is this a demon lord? Thank goodness. Had the first demon lord I met been this, I would consider them a miserable existence. But is she going to be fine? If someone learns of her malicious gossip, she'll be erased. No. I mean, I can easily squash her. Hey, you were thinking of something rude right now, weren't you? Not at all. No, not at all. Though she's looking at me with suspicion, let's not forget that she's an idiot. She's easy to fool. By the way, the conversation got sidetracked. The point is, I want to have high-ranked spirits stop the children's... Come on, pages. God damn it. Stop the children's collapse. Though I can't expect much from this idiot, I still decided to ask. Well, in that case, I was wondering whether a spirit could stop the body's breakdown. What do you think? Her expression became serious. She looked at the children, at each of their faces. She could make a face like that, one truly unbefitting of a demon lord, filled with love. You know, while I am a demon lord, I am also a saint's guide. I bestow divine protection on heroes, so worry not, I am fair. I, this person before you, preserved the balance of the entire world. So, What's the point? While I was thinking that, she turned to face me. All right, I will help you with the summoning. We'll summon the best spirits there are, she so declared. Thus, I was taught about spirits by Reminis. A spirit is, in nothingness, power finds its fill. That is a Holy Spirit. The great Holy Spirit is the source of power. Among these, light and darkness, the two great spirits, who came to exist at the same moment as the world. But the world was without form, an ephemeral existence, light and shadow, darkness and the light, two existences that shall never interweave. One day the great spirit Time was born, the child of light and darkness, and thus the world began to move. The moving world spun without purpose around itself, inside the flowing currents of life and death. Earth, water, fire, wind, and sky. These 5 great spirits were born. And since then, these were the great 8 spirits, until the light consumes the world, erasing darkness, until a new spirit is born, erasing all, life and death. And page turning. Eventually. Aha, got it. Heralding the coming of the end of the world, is what she said. In other words, first the Holy Spirit had existed, and it gave birth to the other 8. Splendid, right? For a myth, it surprisingly lacks gods. Perhaps this is the truth of this world. By the way, great spirits did not have egos. They were masses of energy. The fire spirit was just an excess fragment of the entire mass. Like a monster, this fragment gained self-awareness, and this self-aware fragment of pure energy thus became a monster. In a few words, paranormal phenomena is what it is. Not that I understand, or really want to understand. But I do get what she wants us to do. The point is, create another fragment. Is that it? Ramirez nods. To give birth to a new spirit. If not that, then call forth an existing one. Not an easy task. Since they are capable of thought, it will be difficult to make a spirit obey. Moreover, I don't know whether the kids can handle that. Even so, we have no choice but to try. Either we summon a spirit that can fix our problems, or one that possesses the kids. We'll solve that problem when we get there. I look at the kids. They are all staring at me with a serious expression. Okay? Yeah! A stupid question. All that's left is to have some faith. Try it out. Voice is slowly dying. Just like this application. Come on. All right, that's the end of that chapter. Yay. I think, chapter did we start on? 29. Yes, I think this will be the last chapter of the night, as I'm starting to not be able to speak much with this stuffy nose. Give me a moment, I'm going to wet my throat once more. And I have returned. All righty then. Damn, it turned its page back. Chapter 63. Children and Ghosts. We moved to a different place, to the deepest room in the labyrinth, the Oracle Room. Prior to arriving through to this room, we first passed a large empty room before it. A path that is 1 meter wide and 20 meters long leads from this room to a 5 meter in diameter circular scaffold. What the scaffold is made of, I do not know. It looks as if it's spreading through the room. Okay, step on top of that floor and call out to a spirit. What should we say? Whatever you like, really, help me. Or let's play. An interested spirit will definitely appear before you. Will they really come? They will. I'm sorry. They will. Sensei, they will, right? Will they? The children look at me with a worried face. Well, I think it will be fine if no spirits show. I'll make them appear. Hey, you're making a scary face. Hmm? No problem, no problem. Hey, brats, don't worry. It'll work out. If they don't show up, all I need to do is call them out myself. While I wouldn't mind spirits capable of thinking to appear, we could talk to them in that case. I would prefer non-sentient ones. That is, in that case, they could obey me without hesitation. Since I'm coming along. Well, I guess that's fine. Doesn't matter to me how many people go, but it is narrow, so since you're coming, it's probably best to bring one child at a time. It's probably also a good idea to summon a spirit for each one of them. Why? There might be some grown-up negotiations involved, but anything goes as long as we can avoid negotiating with our fists. All right, one person at a time will go. Who's first? Then we decided the order. First will be the eldest, Gale, then Alice, followed by Kenya and Ryota, and concluded with Chloe. They didn't quarrel about it, but in the end were satisfied with this order. Let's get this over with. A tranquil room, without a sound to be heard, enveloped by a dim light. Only our footsteps reverberated throughout it. Sensei, if anything happens to me, please take care of them. Don't be so formal. He's too tense. Without a word, I rub his head. We have reached the circular room. It's designed with an optical illusion that makes you feel as if you are falling. But magical perception clearly sees a scaffold in there. Transparent glass, acrylic fibers or something. I step onto it while a little surprised, but Gale is trembling in fear. Don't worry, there's a platform here. If anything happens, I'll save you, I said, having long resolved myself. Timidly and carefully, he proceeded on to the center. Okay, that's fine. I'm looking forward to the phrase you choose, Ramirise told him. And after she tapped his head, he closed his eyes and began to pray, kneeling, as if praying to the gods. I crossed my arms while observing this. After some time has passed, drops of light began to fall from the sky, like snow, and before us on the altar, a single person, no, a single spirit appeared. Gale noticed this and continued to pray. Good job. It's a success. A non-sentient mass of natural energy, appearing like a mass of magical energy, but a mere counterfeit. Will it be able to acquire an ego? Like Veldora's cave, this place is filled with natural energy. If it's not self-aware, it will probably disperse, then come together again to give birth to a new spirit. Then, without any hesitation, I ate the spirit. I'll eat the spirit. Well, I thought for a second he'd done that. Oh, okay, no, sorry, he did it, yes. Then, without any hesitation, I ate the spirit. Gale, continue praying. What was that? What have you done? Ramirise, shut up for a second. I've got a plan. Calmly, I called forth the great sage. After reading my intentions, it began the calculation, and after completing them, it began transforming the spirit. Announcement. Transformation of the spirit using Great Sage has been completed. The contents are now mostly of Earth attribute abilities. Furthermore, after analyzing the flame giant Ifrit, a pseudo-human personality has been created. Corrective ability from the unique skill Great Sage has been added. Will you bestow this power on Gale Gibson? Yes, no. I place my Great Sage on Gale's head and select yes, and grant him the power. Through this, the contract with the spirit will be completed within a single moment. After analyzing Gale's condition, I confirmed that the rampaging magical energy was now at peace. Of course, his aggregate energy is still far higher than that of normal children. That is the result of spiritual energy and magical energy offsetting each other. Now, as he continues to grow, he will probably be able to acquire many abilities. Surgery was successful, I thought in my mind, and shook hands with the great sage mentally, of course. I mean, I haven't ever seen what it looks like, and have no idea if it even has a form. Yep, all done. Good job, I say to Gale. Doesn't look like he was in pain or anything. He just quickly looked up at me. I gave a big nod. You're okay now. The collapse has stopped. I guarantee it. With a face full of tears, Sensei, thank you very much. He bowed. While hiding my embarrassment, I patted his head. And so we rejoined the other kids. Everyone was happy to find out that we had succeeded. But we have only just begun. It's meaningless unless everyone is saved. Steel yourselves. We'll celebrate when everyone has been saved. They were reminded by my words and nodded. Let's move on to the second one. Next was Alice. She said that she was scared walking down the path, so I carried her instead. Chloe and Alice seemed to be bickering about something before, but it's probably just a child's dispute. Without a care in the world, I picked Alice up and proceeded towards the room. I hope things go just as good as last time. Under my watchful eye, Alice bowed down to pray, holding her hands together tightly, holding onto her skirt. After waiting for a while, light began to fall from the sky, just as before. The moment the spirit appeared on the altar, I ate it. Ramirise looked as if she had something to say, but I completely ignored her. I've gotten used to this the second time around. Announcement. Transformation of the spirit using Great Sage has been completed. The contents are now mostly of sky attribute abilities. Furthermore, after analyzing the flame giant, human personality has been created, blah, blah. Corrective ability from the unique skill Great Sage has been added. Due to the excellent ability, it has fused with Shadow Step and evolved into spatial transfer. Will you bestow this power on Alice Rondo? Yes, no. Seems like my ability has evolved after coming in contact with a spirit. What an unexpected occurrence. I granted the ability to Alice. Oh, by the way, barrier has changed into spatial barrier, but I cannot give that to Alice. I wonder if her affinity with it is just bad or something. Well, it's a skill she can acquire on her own someday. Alice, well done. You're fine now. I held her up in my arms and said. She smiled widely and kissed me on the cheek. Oi, oi, what a precocious child. I mean, should I even be happy to be popular with a 7-year-old? Nah, I'm happy. Just remember, I'm a gentleman, not some perverted lollygon. Thanks. She bowed in thanks, and we returned to the rest of the group. The moment I put her down, she began to quarrel with the furious Chloe, but I guess that just shows how close they are. I returned to the circular room with Kenya. Now I feel confident. Things are going smoothly. Just 3 left. In the worst-case scenario, I had planned to summon the spirits myself and grant them to the children, but there was no need for that. But I am glad there's only 3 left. Transforming the spirits takes up a surprising amount of energy. I should be able to manage 3 more. The moment Kenya started praying, I mean, he hasn't even closed his eyes yet, light began falling from the sky. What? That's a mass of energy far larger than the ones that appeared for the other 2. And there stood a human-shaped spirit, a boy. Yo, how's life? I'm good. I feel like coming over, so I did. And extended a casual greeting. Why did you just come to someone's house uninvited? Next page. Honestly. Ramirise, her eyes wide, asked that of the child spirit. Seems like they know each other. Yo, who's that? To my question, without waiting for... Yo, who's that? To my question, without waiting for Ramiry's introduction. Oh, Sue, I'm the spirit of light. Unlike that depressing and fallen descendant of darkness spirit, I'm a pure spirit, he said. After thus introducing ourselves, we continued the discussion. Kenya, in a panic, was staring at us. Stop it already. After listening to our story, and perhaps maybe because Kenya had a good disposition towards light, so I decided to help Kenya. Is how it happened. Generally, light and darkness spirits have the highest social standing and are the highest grade of spirits. Seems like he's also capable of bestowing divine protection onto heroes. In the first place, Ramirise and him are supposed to do that together, but that rarely happens. The last time we blessed a hero together was, what, 2,000 years ago? Is what he said. After Ramirise got really bored and decided to become an evil spirit, bestowing divine protection became his job. A pointless discussion, but it seems that Ramirise has inherited herself from previous generations. She used to reign as the queen of fairies, but after reaching the pinnacle of power beyond which she could not progress, she decided to split herself. And to each one of those cloned children, she gave a sense of self. Thus, when they would grow up, they could perhaps surpass the original. The flaw being their weaknesses during childhood, a race that continuously strove to grow out of weakness. Among all the demon lords, only she possesses such hereditary abilities. Random outbursts of anger are expected from the selfish Ramirise, but their relationship can be described in only one word. Terrible. Doesn't it seem like most of the demon lords are selfish? I can't say that all of them are like that, but so far... So, until Kenchan grows up, I'll be protecting you. Maybe, Kenchan, you can even become a hero. Saying so, and without waiting for permission, he entered Kenya. Much too quickly, Kenya's body completely stabilized. Sensei? It's okay, all according to plan. Whose plan? I retort to myself. Just remember, me. If you let it get to you, you'll lose. Things are going smoothly. Though Kenya seemed to doubt my words, he did believe the fact that his condition had stabilized. After returning to the rest of the group, he explained the situation himself. Somehow, he seems to have matured quite a bit. Next would be Ryota. What spirit would the weak-willed Ryota summon? It'd be bad if he doesn't appear. I worry. Just as previously, he bowed to pray before the altar. He walked down the narrow path by himself. Seemed spirited enough. Now, what will happen? Immediately, an emerald light fell from the sky, drawing thousands of helices. Before anything strange could happen, I ate it. According to the analysis, it's water and wind, a two-elemental spirit. You've done well, Ryota. The rest is up to you, Great Sage. Announcement. Transformation of the spirit using Great Sage has been completed. The contents are now mostly of heat manipulation ability and transformation ability. Furthermore, after analyzing the flame giant Ifrit, a pseudo-human personality has been created. Corrective ability from the unique skill Great Sage has been added. Due to the excellent affinity, it has fused with cloning. It is fused with cloning and attempted to evolve it into quantum manipulation. Failed. Will you bestow this power on Sekiguchi Ryota? Yes or no? Cloning is something that is very difficult to use without Great Sage's support, so even if I grant it to him, he probably won't be able to use it. Well, whatever. On that note, quantum manipulation! Huh? I have no idea what such a skill could do. In the first place, can it teach me the basic concepts of the skill? I'd be happy if it could. If I investigated its concepts, I might be able to replicate its effects. Unlike the system of this world, that people ardently study, magic, my abilities are far more unreasonable. That is, if I explain the concept behind a skill in depth to Great Sage, it could create a system to make it usable. Well, what's impossible is impossible, however. Perhaps that's why the evolution had failed. In any case, I was able to successfully bestow the spirit upon Ryota. And so, only one person was left. The last person. Chloe was very afraid to walk there, so I carried her over as well. She was very happy. Seems like she lied about her fear. Sensei, I love you. Read to her ears, she told me so. I also like her. If she chooses, of course, to stay the same after 10 years. I wish I had such a problem in my past life. A pitiful existence, not a day together with a girlfriend. A pitiful man. However, as a result, I was able to acquire the wonderful Great Sage skill. So it's a fair trade. Probably not, but how nice. Children are so honest. That's something they can only do when they are in school. Well, past middle school, they are often too embarrassed to say anything, though. But it was never too late for me. I mean, if something never even started, it can't be too late. Woe is me. But let's forget about me for a second. Unfortunately, I become a little flustered upon hearing her words. Now, what kind of spirit will she summon? She's the last one. Not a time for failure. Like everyone else, she bowed to pray. That's when things started to change. Should I call it that? For example, something did fall from the sky. An oppressive aura, and a beautiful girl with silver-black hair. It had the vitality unbefitting of a spirit. Is she some astral existence, abandoned her flesh and lives in the mass as a mass of energy? Rather than a spirit, she radiates some form of soul energy. At this rate, she will dissipate. To prevent her dissipation, she either needs something to bind her soul to, or to reincarnate into some body. Without a body, we'd need to create some system keeping her here, which isn't simple even for a high-level spirit. That girl, Celestial Maiden, suddenly saw me and grabbed onto me and locked her lips around mine. Unfortunately, as a ghost, she has no texture. A real shame. Such a beautiful girl. Even if she was a ghost, I would never. I mean, what's going on? The Celestial Maiden, with a look full of disappointment, moved to touch Chloe. Stop! I won't let you! I won't let you do as you please! Suddenly, Ramirise held up both her hands, prepared for combat. Unlike her usual frivolous appearance, her eyes were completely serious this time. A black light covered her hands, which she shot out at Chloe. I jumped in front of Chloe to protect her, and it absorbed into my body. Annihilation magic of instant death. It's hard to believe, but she seriously intended to kill her. Next page. Come on. It's just getting good. Hey, what was that for? Shut up! She's dangerous, don't you see? I don't. What's dangerous? While we were busy arguing, the Celestial Maiden overlapped with Chloe and disappeared. Quickly, I verified Chloe's status. The collapse has stopped. No problem, right? Oh, Ma! Too late. I give up. I don't even care anymore. Puffing her cheeks out, Ramirise shouted. No idea what just happened. That is why I'm asking. What was that? Sorry, that is why I'm asking. What was that? Ramirez did not respond to my question. Chloe opened her eyes and appeared completely oblivious to our worries. When I asked her again, I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. But that was probably something born in the future. Something that came from the future and not a spirit. Did she possess that girl to give birth to herself? I don't know. But that was something truly powerful. If that is born in the future, it'll cause many problems. That's the first time I've seen such a thing. Such a being. That maybe that even that was a spirit of time. Fucking hell, it's really bad. Don't look at me. I gave up trying to understand. Well, whatever. Chloe is perfectly fine. It's pointless to consider the future we have no control over right now. Good for you, Chloe. You too were able to avoid danger, I said, lifting her up in the air. Chloe smiled happily. Ramirez, looking at us, could only sigh. Well, I guess it's fine. There was nothing more I could do since the moment it possessed the girl, she said, and turned away from us. I think everything will be fine. Chloe is fine and all, by the way. By the way, thanks. Thanks to you, the children are safe. God damn it. The chapter was going so well. When we returned to the group, I thanked Ramirez. The children showered her in thanks. Ah, that's enough already. Her face red, she tried to shake off the embarrassment. This is a demon lord. What's the world coming to? The other fairies flew next to Ramirez, creating a beautiful sight. In order to bless the children who avoided that dreaded fate, to light the fire of happiness in their hearts, and naturally a smile formed on the children's faces. And so I was able to save the children. The end of that chapter, and the end of tonight's reading.
Good job, Magnanix.
Oh, thank you all for coming. If you would like, we can get a photo, hopefully, by our dear streamer, Shadow. If you would all like to come onto the stage.
Sure.
I need to get some sleep after this. Ooh, candy for me.
Yeah, same here.
Whoa. Hello there, Ozzy.
Ozzy gave me a boop during the reading. I just looked over and there was Ozzy.
As long as Ozymandias stays the same way and doesn't go on a wild rampage and burn down millions of villages, as is your namesake. Is everyone here who is in the photo?
Ready?
Ready.
Yep.
Say slime.
Slime. All good.
Just like last time.
Okay, thank you, Magnanix. See you next
Oh,
time.
Only
thank
thing
you
is, I
for
couldn't see
coming.
Magnanix the whole time.
Where does the message on
for
that
the amazing reading.
Normally the
Magnanix is
screenshot
like
gets
freaking
dropped
slow
in the
to me.
VRChat Discord.
Legit. Are you okay in there? It looks like the chairs swallowed you, basically.
You're holding something.